You, you've walked enough miles this week to earn it, though.
Do you want a hot dog? Yeah, it'd be a bit much. All right, I'm ready.
You ready?
Yes.
All right. We are here with Danielle Kang, our 2022 Hilton Grand Vacations Tournament of Champions winner. Congratulations, Danielle. One better than last year. It's chilly out. Let you get your coat on. But overall, what was the experience like this week? And now to kick off the 2022 season with a big win.
The experience this year was very different from last year. We're at a different golf course, different title sponsor. I played with the CEO, Mark Wang, during the Pro-Am, and that was really fun. It was a bit different. I think I was more aware of where I was. Things that I wanted to work on, that's the things that I wanted to execute. It was a bit of a different goal. End result, I always want to win, but it was kind of more than that for me this year. So I'm actually proud of myself of the work that I've done to feel the way I have today.
You said you worked this offseason on playing in the cold. Who would have thought you'd need that crazy work this week? You worked on a lot of things. Do you mind telling us what you've been working on and what you're the most proud of?
One of the things I'm most proud of is to not certain things get to me. I guess, sometimes like the tee times are different, right? And this year, for some reason, last year only, it was 3 pros in the final group. But then they switched it back this year, so it did kind of rub me the wrong way when I was looking at the tee times today. Those things, it might not mean a lot to other people, but for me, it does mean something. And to not let it affect me and to be able to execute and to play the way I want to play and end up in the results that I wanted to and not let the feelings bother me has come a long ways for me.
You had kind of an up and down back nine, 3 birdies in a row there on 13, 14, 15, but then a pretty clutch bogey save there on 16. Could have been worse. Tell us about what happened there and how you kept yourself calm to make that bogey.
That's actually going back to the things not letting me bother me so much, right? It is what it is. That's one of the worst things and the best things. I hit it. It wasn't a good swing, but I was kind of on a right to left lie, on a right to left wind, on a right to left shot, and I ended up kind of overturning it. And I told myself it wasn't because I had bad thoughts. It wasn't because it was coming down the stretch. I just hit a bad swing. But the best thing I can do is I told my caddy I have to save a bogey here at the worst. So I hit the first putt really firm, but it was over 100 feet. And then I watched it roll by the hole. So that was really important for me. So instead of freaking out about or panicking about the result of what if I don't make a bogey, what if I don't make a double, I was more focused on what I needed to do the best I can to hit the next shot with 100% commitment, which was to watch my putt, and I trusted that line and I made that bogey, so I was really proud of myself.
Good. And you said you were paying attention to where you were on the golf course. Did you know how much of a lead you had over the rest of the field?
No, I actually didn't know on 17 and 18. Actually, I missed the scoreboard on 17, so I didn't know where I was on 18 at that point. But I was mindful on the 15th hole par 5 and the 14th hole and the 13th, because I know that those girls hit it far. I don't hit it as far as Gabby and Nelly. It's not reachable. Certain holes are not reachable for me. I don't have wedges. I had a hybrid in on 16 and I have a 5-wood on an 18. So I have to be very mindful about where I'm going to be standing and the reality of, hey, there is a bogey opportunity coming up for me. So, but I knew that I played well up until 16, so I didn't have to worry too much about where I was going to be standing on 17 and 18.
Great. We'll open it up to questions. Let me know on the Zoom in the chat if you have a question, but we'll start over here with Jeff.
Danielle, how nice is it to see the hard work you put in the offseason pay off so quickly?
It feels really peaceful, actually. I feel peaceful today. I don't feel super excited. I don't feel unbelievably thrilled. I just feel like nice. The work that I put in, everyone keeps bringing it back to last year. It was a tough year for me. It was a bad year for me, and I fought through, but for the last 7-8 weeks, I just dropped the fight. I didn't need to fight anymore. It was a new year. I was just trying to gain weight. I was trying to change my nutrition. I was trying to change the way I approach the golf game more so than to be so caught up in the way I felt and how I felt and what I'm going to do and what if I didn't do it. And I already didn't do it, so.
And then that stretch, I guess, starting about 11, you really took control of the tournament. Could you talk about that stretch and then the 3 straight birdies?
Yeah, so 11, I hit a really good wood. Was it 3-wood? Yeah, I hit a 3-wood, and then I had a really crummy lie, but I kind of have to accept my feelings because that's what I'm working on, accepting my feeling and dropping it. So I was so angry with that lie because it was so soft and there was rough behind it, and I quietly said to my caddy, I'm raging right now. And I just, because it could have been anywhere, but why here? And then I said, it's fine, just let me rage, just let me get angry for 5 seconds, and then I dropped it. And I knew that I could hit that shot. I practiced it during the practice rounds, and I gave myself a really good up and down. One of the best holes I was really proud of is 13. It's a really difficult par 3. And this, I probably have never misread read putts more than I have in Lake Nona. I aim left and miss left. So I completely misread, completely missed speed, and I've had a couple 4 or 5 footers coming back because I misread it. So on 13, I changed my line 3 times, and I just trusted my feel more so than what I saw, and then that was a huge putt for me to make for birdie. I think that got the momentum going onto 14 and 15 as well.
And how far was that?
Like 7, 8 feet. How far was that, Ollie? On 13, par 3. 8 feet.
We're going to go over here to Steve.
Danielle, of all the shots of this week, I think the one that may have brought a tear to the old-timers' eyes was the little bump and run today on 15. You just don't see that shot very much anymore. Can you walk us through what your thinking is there?
I've been working a lot of bump and runs. Now that you said old-timer, sorry, Butch, but he makes me practice a lot of bump and runs. I actually chipped it with the 46 degree there instead of trying to hit a 50 or a 54 because it's more so like a putt. So as long as I got the green speed down, which I have, I saw how the ball was going to roll and react to the green. I just wanted that top spin. So I just hit it as closest on the green as possible and let it tumble.
And it looks like you kind of stand the shaft up a little bit there.
I stand the shaft up, put the ball back, put the toe down, and I just hit it aggressively through the ball.
Trying to play it off the toe a little bit.
Yes, I did that on 18th hole as well.
So, and do you get a better feel when it's coming off the toe? Or?
It comes off like a putt. You just can't be afraid of it, right? And so if you hesitate, it's going to kind of duff or chunk, or you're going to catch a little bit too much of toe spin. But as long as you're aggressive through it, it's always going to come out with that nice top spin that you can create with your putter.
Yeah. And how often do you do that in competition, or is this one of the first times you've ever done it?
No, I've been practicing that a lot. I actually use those shots quite often than not. It's the easiest shot in golf, to be honest. It's just, you just got to tumble it and it will go to the hole as long as you read the speed and the line right. For me, it's easiest, and that's my go-to when things are not, let's say, the most pressured, or I have to hit a good shot. Like in 18, I wasn't going to hit any other shot than that. I don't see any other thing.
Yeah, great, thank you.
No problem.
Over here to Edgar.
It sounds like Steve's trying to get a golf tip here from you.
Free golf lessons.
So you wouldn't know it now, but how difficult was it out there, and how good was the 68 in the conditions today?
I played so well today and yesterday. It was so cold. It was incredibly cold. My body is just not moving as well as it would in the heat. It does affect me more so than probably other players. I don't know how they feel, but personally speaking, the minute the temperature drops, my driver goes shorter, my irons are going shorter. I'm hitting 5 woods and rescues coming into the par 4s when I had 8 irons in. So but I know that, and I'm aware of it, and I know the swings that I can make and can't make when it's cold. So that was one of the most difficult challenges for me, is the weather for me. Not the wind, not the rain, just the cold, the icy coldness.
What do you think of the atmosphere on 18? I mean, you're trying to like get up and down, and it's like the bass is thumping. It's like a party out there. It's a little probably hard to concentrate. It
Didn't bother me one bit.
Okay.
I don't even know what music was on. I don't know what.
Well,
I don't hear
either. I'm too
anything.
old.
I actually heard nothing.
Okay.
I was just more focused on doing what I needed to do. It's actually more distracting. I think a few days ago, they kept turning it on and off and on and off and on. That is distracting because it's so loud, so I don't know what was happening. I didn't know if it was going to turn it on when I was putting or when the cue was, but as long as it's background noise, it's just, it is what it is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One more here in the room from Jeff, and then Keely will go to you on Zoom.
No worries.
You kind of hinted at it earlier that you didn't know exactly where you were on 17 and 18. It looked like coming off 18, you weren't aware necessarily that you had won the tournament. When did that news get to you?
So it's never over until the last shot drops, right? So I didn't know if I was up by 2. Someone could still hole out. I could sign the wrong scorecard. I didn't know exactly how many I was up by. So I was kind of confused. So if I was only up by 2, there's still people, I didn't know if they can make eagles. That's why I didn't know.
Yeah.
I knew that they were close. I just didn't know how far apart we were, basically.
And then also, you had to play away from the pin from the sand at 16. What was that decision-making process?
1 second.
Yeah.
I've been standing for literally 10 hours. That hurts.
That's why we have them there.
So
Give you the
bad.
option.
Don't laugh at me. 16th hole?
Yeah.
So on 16, I wanted to hit this weird shot, and my caddy kind of went against it. I knew I had to make a bogey. I mean, doubles are too penalizing. So he said that you can go to the right side, but I told him I don't think I can stop it with it on the green, and I also didn't want a 100-foot putt. But he's like, "What other shot are you looking at?" I said I could have some fun and trying to pitch it into the hill, and he's like, "Yeah, we're not doing that." So he's basically said to me, "Hit the best shot you can on the right side." And when he kept reminding me that I think you can hold it on the green, I ran up, and I think all he was thinking was I just needed to putt. So I saw the shot and I hit it, and the best thing I did was watch my putt roll by. So
Congrats.
thank you.
We're going to go to Keely Levins on Zoom. Keely.
Oh, it's Keely?
Yep, Keely's there. You can unmute, friend.
Hi, Keely.
Hey Danielle, congratulations.
Thank you.
So you're chatting about playing in the cold, and there's certain swings that you can't make. I'm curious if you can talk about like which types of shots you feel like you can't make in the cold.
I don't really hit good draw shots in the cold, and that's my go-to. I always hit probably a 3, 5 to even 15-yard draws. I'm always a right to left shot player. And then in the cold, my body can't go through. Lower body doesn't go through as well, which means I just changed to more of a cut. And I worked on a lot of fades and cuts this off season, and I was more comfortable with them, and that's what I played.
Awesome. And when you're talking about hitting that bump and run, is practicing bump and runs more also part of the British Open prep that you talked about earlier this week?
Yes and no. I think I'm just trying to widen my arsenal and widen my tools, right? And trying to be able to chip with 8 irons and 9 irons. I hit a couple 9-iron shots out of around the greens, 46 degrees. It's actually going with what I feel more so than what I think is right. I learned that there is really not a correct way to play golf, and the better that I am with more clubs, I felt I have more opportunities to make probabilities to making par and saves, and that's what I've tried to widen this offseason.
Okay. And you had said that you wanted to win a British for your caddy. Where is he from?
He's from Leicester, England. Yeah, he's freaking out over there. Yeah, that's his dream. That's his dream. So I basically, I just want to give ourselves the best opportunity for me to contend at the British. That is the best way I can put where I'm going to stand at the British Open. I have not played well out there, and my results have shown that I don't contend as often. But I can't just sit here and say that that's my weakest link. If it's the weakest, that has the best range of improvement. So I worked really hard on trying to play in the cold, trying to play on slow greens, and work on a lot of bump and runs. And it helped out today, and it wasn't the British Open, so it's good.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, congrats again, Danielle. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
the time.
Thanks, Keely. We'll end up here with Sarah.
And does this win in that note mean more to you? Because it is in the cold, it is in the wet, it is in the windy with Ollie. Is it kind of is it something a little bit more special than it might have been otherwise?
I think it's more special because a lot of stuff that I did during the off season, it was really hard. I mean, I've actually even gained 9 pounds, so I worked really hard to gain that weight. I feel really good. I don't feel injured. I don't feel tired. Those are the things that I've worked on, doing a lot of different types of analysis and people helping me out. I have a great team back at home. I mean, if I'm going to really, they're probably not going to listen to this, but like Nicole's my nutritionist. I got Micah helping me with my mental coach. I got Duncan with my strengthening. I have Heather with my physio. It's just nonstop with all these group of people building and helping me create better footing. So those are the things that it's hard to do. So I'm just more proud of myself that I actually did it.
Congrats.
Thank you.
You did it. It's real. Congrats, Danielle.
Thank you.
Do you mind sitting there for a sec? And
Yeah,
I'm
no
going to
problem.
ask Jeff to record.